Good morning, everybody. It's 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock is with Father Warner, and today is the feast of Saint Matthew, the Apostle and Evangelist. Now, normally I read the text for you and then I explain the text. But sometimes I just like to do a little bit of mental thinking, just going into a fictitious world and laying for you how I would see Matthew's life. I did this some days ago also when I spoke of the little children who came to Jesus. So today, this kind of a teaching would be more in the form of a meditation, and that meditation in the form of a story. So please remember that I have put in several elements into this meditation. Perhaps you can close your eyes and imagine the whole scene unfolding. But the several elements in the story, in the way I've written this, is fictitious but combined with a lot of biblical truth and also historical truth. So if you like, you can close your eyes and listen to this like a beautiful narrative. So Capernaum had just one word on its lips: Jesus. There was no nook or cranny that did not know or speak about Jesus. Jesus had made this little town of Capernaum his home, and that's not all. He had already worked more than 12 miracles here, and many were hailing him as the Messiah. Capernaum was a very small town, but it was not a sleepy one. You can't be inactive when you're situated on one of the most popular Roman highways. The Via Maris, or the Way of the Sea, was the most ancient trade route dating from the early Bronze Age that linked Egypt with the northern empires of Syria and passing right through Capernaum. The fact that this was a trade route could mean only one thing: on trade routes, there were tax collectors. No one disliked these tax collectors more than the Jews did. In fact, they hated them. So you can imagine Alphaeus' disappointment when Matthew, his son, chose being a tax collector as his career. It seemed that fast money was the order of the day, and the traditional occupations of Capernaum seemed to hold now no longer any charm. Why could Matthew not be like Simon? Why could he not be like Andrew? Why could he not be like James or John? I mean, what was so wrong in honest living, even if you smelled of fish the whole day? Matthew's professional choice only added to the graying hair of Alphaeus, to say nothing of the insults that this father had to face because of his own son's occupation. Alphaeus' mind recalled that day when Matthew was to be named. Alphaeus could only think of how blessed he was to have this child after so many years of waiting. His name would be called Matityahu, meaning a gift of Yahweh. But now this very gift seemed to have become all of a sudden a liability. Alphaeus could not even get his friends to enjoy his hospitality, for who would sit with Matthew's newfound tax collector friends for a meal? Matthew had his tax booth situated on the main highway, and he collected duties on import goods brought by farmers, merchants, and caravans. Rome demanded a fixed amount to be paid by the tax collectors in advance. Rome was not concerned as to how the tax collectors recovered their money. That was their business. Matthew and his colleagues loved this system, for now they could collect not only what they paid for, but determine the profits they desired. And no one dared question a tax collector, for their decisions were enforced by the Roman soldiers. Capernaum hated Matthew, and he taxed them right back. But then one day, all of that changed. Just like that. No one was bothered about hating Matthew anymore. Suddenly there was talk of love and talk of forgiveness. Now the highways seemed to only have foreign traders pass by, and many of them had pitched their tents in Capernaum. The hillsides and seashores were where people were gathering and listening intently to this new rabbi called Jesus. Alphaeus had joined this group too, and he was amazed by the miracles that Jesus had performed. And then Alphaeus thought to himself, if only his son Matthew would join him, even for a few minutes, to listen to Jesus. Alphaeus was there, he was present when the centurion appealed to Jesus for his servant. At first, the crowd was angry that this Gentile centurion had dared to enter the presence of a holy man such as Jesus, but their attitude changed when they heard the humility in the centurion's voice. He was respectful of their traditions. He knew that to have Jesus under his roof would make Jesus ritually unclean. The Jews, hostile as they were to the centurion, were amazed that even Gentile rulers acknowledged Jesus as the Messiah. Alphaeus closed his eyes. If the centurion's servant could be healed, then surely Jesus could change the heart of his son, Matthew. The heart of Alphaeus wept like any father for the conversion of his child. And Alphaeus prayed a silent prayer. And then, just like that, Jesus was walking along. Jesus set his eyes on Matthew and he called him. That evening, Matthew threw a dinner in honor of Jesus. He spoke of that electrifying moment when he got up from his desk, his tax desk, and walked away from it all. All his life, Matthew had cheated people, and now he felt compelled to cheat once more before he left and followed Jesus. He cheated Satan. Have a blessed day, everybody, and happy feast.